Hey, on this week's episode on Behind the Mic with me, Tramaine Long, we have a very, very special episode today. Today episode, we are interviewing me, Tramaine Long. Hey man, what's going on, y'all? This is your boy Tramaine Long, and like I said before, this episode is about me. You know,
Mhm.
and I have a very special guest, my beautiful wife. Yes, my beautiful wife, Shanay Long, and she is going to be interviewing me. Now, I could have got anybody to do this, you know, but I wanted my wife to, be in the spotlight with me. You know what I mean? So no further ado, I want to hand it over to you. So let's get it. Let's go, baby.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shanay Long. So excited to be here. I'm so glad that my true love, my purpose partner in life,
That's right.
has invited me into his world. As you stated before, you could have asked anybody else to share this space, but I'm so grateful. And I'm just so proud of you, all that you've done, all that you accomplished, just for our family. And so I'm just really excited to kind of dive deep. I know that you did a quick Q&A session on one of the episodes, but I wanted to give people another peek just a little bit deeper into who you are as a person
Hmm.
as the album get ready to release. Okay, so let's get ready to jump in.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing. Who are you? Where are you from? Up until about the age of 12. Can you kind of talk about that?
So I am originally from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Born in Chesapeake, but my mother moved me and my sisters to Atlanta, Georgia. I think I was like 6, 7
Mm-hmm.
at the time, to Atlanta, Georgia. She was married at the time, and so um, we grew up in church.
Yeah.
At that time, we was in church a lot, and from I think from 6, 7 to like 9, 10. I grew up with in Atlanta. Started off, but we had my stepfather at the time was abusive,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So my childhood was very tough and challenging. It kind of made me who I am today when it come down to how I treat kids. So dealing with child abuse, what I mean by that is wasn't no sexual stuff. It was more physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. And so that was a tough time period in my life. And, but then after that, to I think around 9, 10, my mother ended up separating from him or whatever. And we ended up moving to Washington Road. If you're from Atlanta, you know Washington Road, Washington Walk is the apartments, I went to Count Creek Middle School, um, and everything. And and that's when my hood journey
Mm-hmm.
it started, really. It started around like 9, 10. We went from living there to being homeless,
Mm-hmm.
being on the street, not knowing where we're gonna go, and living in a shelter. Or it was like a old big church. If you and from Atlanta, on Metropolitan, it was a big church that was on Metropolitan, and there was a shelter there. And it's funny because we lived there, and I was going to Parks Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
I was in seventh grade when this happened, and so we had you trying to go to school, and your bus stop is right outside of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we lying to other kids because people know that this is a shelter.
Mm.
And I'm like, no, my mama worked there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you getting picked on
Yeah.
and not really having nothing and stuff like that. And so after we stayed there, then after that, my mother got an apartment. We moved to Simpson Road.
Okay.
1177 was the name of the apartments because it just that was all on the building. They have a name, 1177, right next to Simpson Valley. So, if people listen to T.I. stuff, they talking about Bankhead,
Mm-hmm.
Simpson Road, and the Bluff, and all that. I was right in the thick of that.
Okay.
And so the neighborhood was so bad to where, you know, we had to walk to school. It wasn't like the school's right around the corner. We really had to walk every day.
Goodness.
I went to Kennedy Middle School. And so, Kennedy Middle School was right in the bluff. And so when I stayed on Simpson 1177, right there next to Simpson Valley,
Hmm.
that's when, like I said, that's where I had to learn how to get some street smarts.
Hmm.
People jealous of you, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I really had to fight almost every day.
Goodness.
Like it's not every day, but it
Yeah.
was a lot. I had
Yeah.
to fight a lot. One thing I say too, I feel like kids these days they don't understand because we kind of shelter our kids, our boys. They don't want
Yeah.
to go out. We want to go outside, but
Oof.
we don't want to go outside that
Yeah.
much. Like, cause times are different now.
Hmm.
But one thing I can say is like growing up out there in the streets in the hood, it give you a certain type of grit,
Yeah.
toughness,
Hmm.
and not having a father in my life as well, because my father wasn't there. I ain't really say that, but my father wasn't there. So that was tough. So you not having a man to really help you navigate those waters.
Yeah.
So I'm in seventh grade. Me and my friend Quan, we doing stupid stuff,
Hmm.
stealing bikes.
Yeah.
Like this was like the only time I really kind of did crazy stuff like this. But stealing bikes, like I said, you fighting and stuff like that. We kind of, this around the time when you had the No Limit
Oh.
with Mystical, and then
Hmm.
this is the time when 1999 when taking over for the
And taking it
99
from.
and the
Hmm.
2000 when
Yeah.
Cash Money with,
That's
you know what
our
I'm
era.
saying, all this stuff out. And so we kind of glorified those things in the hood. Like these are the men
Hmm.
that I was kind of looking up to outside of watching my mama
Hmm.
and things like that. So when we stayed there, I ended up turning 12 there.
Okay.
So I remember that 12th birthday, and that's when I started kind of like really realizing like I want to rap
Mm.
at 12.
Okay.
That's when I realized I wanted to rap at 12 because um my nephew's father,
Hmm.
when we was young, he used to come over and we just freestyle all the time.
Yeah.
Freestyle. And I had like we had like a little Sony little boombox radio. You
Yeah.
could take the speakers off on the side and put them back on. Had a little CD player tape, and you can stick a mic inside.
Hmm.
You can stick a mic inside of it to record or whatever the case may be. I didn't have a mic, but some odd reason I was just always super creative. So I took my headphones. I don't know, y'all remember them old headphones, like just go with a Walkman or
Yeah.
something like that. I take those off. I have to plug it into the mic and rap into the actual headphone. And I'm like, now you can. It's like a mic, so you
Yeah.
can still hear it. So we took that Goody Mob, who's that peeping in my window,
Hmm.
blah doom 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 doom. So we took that and we just freestyled on that, and I'm like, man, that really kind of kicked it off to hear myself,
Yeah.
even though it really wasn't good, but it's
It
just
was
to
a
hear
start.
myself.
Yeah.
But that made me really start like so. Um, yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and kind of jump into more of the musical journey side of things.
Let's get it.
All right. So when did you know, and we kind of been hitting on this throughout the journey because it's you can't really talk about your full story without sprinkling in some of the impacts that music
Mhm.
had. And know you talk about the mic, FL Studio, but when did you know that you had a gift?
Um, the singing always been a thing, because growing up in church, they
Hmm.
always had us to be in the choir or whatever, and I probably sang around the house and stuff like that. So I would know I had a voice. I didn't know how good I was, but I knew I had a voice. But to be honest, when people hear me now,
Hmm.
they hear the beats, they
Hmm.
hear the rapping, they hear the mixing, they hear all these different things that I do now. At one point in time,
You want that.
it wasn't it at all. I was trash.
Oh man.
I just became 100. I wasn't good. Like I had to. Some people just get this stuff. For example, you know, me and Salvatore Perugio, I call him
Mm.
Cass, because that's what we call him growing up. But
Mm.
Sal is his artist name. it wasn't never like, oh, he has a gift
Mm-hmm.
like that. When growing up, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I knew that it's something that I wanted to do. So that's why we go back to Mackenzie Court. We used to always freestyle and play at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Cass, Sal, and our cousin DJ, I was like, hey, listen, y'all, like, I feel like we can do this ourselves. Like we can make our own music. And mind you, I ain't know the first thing about recording or doing nothing, but
Yeah.
I just knew it. It was just like something clicked, like this is something I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm.
And I've been knowing this since then. Actually, since I was 12. That I 12 showed me that I like this.
Okay.
14, when I made that bold statement and said that to them,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of ignited something. Cause now Cash went back and I ain't after we moved away from Mackenzie Court,
Yeah.
we ain't seen them for a couple of years. And then so I went on, we start hanging out when I moved to Forest Park.
Mm-hmm.
And we got back in touch. And I went over there, he came to my house, we rode the bus to his house in 404 Plainville in Adamville, Georgia. And at the time. So Auntie Kim, I went over there and we just kicking. My mom let me go spend a night over there and stuff like that. So we kicking it. So we just talking. I'm like, hey, like, I wonder if they got like a program for the computer because I know I couldn't afford no keyboards and
So,
all this. Because at this time was everything was really a lot of analog stuff. Like what I mean, analog is like normal keyboards that you see at church and people playing guitars and
okay.
stuff like that. But digital is everything is being done in the computer.
Okay.
But at the time, I didn't understand analog or digital. I just wanted they got a program where you can make beats
Mm-hmm.
on the computer, and he was like, they do. It's called. I said, what? He always knew everything. Like,
Yeah.
so Cass was like, he was like our smart guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the smart guy. He was our smart guy. The dude was like when he was in fifth grade, they were trying to skip him to go to high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's how smart he is like that. And but he was like, oh yeah, they do. It's on the computer. I got it now. I said, what? You got it now? He said, well, look. I said, what is this called? It called Fruity Loops. That
Hmm.
was called at the time. Fruity. It wasn't FL Studios.
Oh.
It was called Fruity Loops. So they had to change the name because of
Yeah, that's
the cereal and
oh,
stuff like that.
copyright
Yeah.
infringement.
So they changed it to FL Studios. So he gave me Fruity Loops 3. That was my first ever beat making program. I did not understand what I was doing. I was going in there just clicking on stuff. I'm like, yeah, this it just sounds crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. But so he took his time out and showed me the basis of how to make a beat, like the kick, then the snare, and he showed me what to do. And so I just picked it up. After that, I took flight with that information.
Okay.
But the thing was with him, when we started doing music together, it's like everything just came so easy to him.
Yeah.
Like he'll get in there, like how you see me now. You see me, I come knock
Oh
out
yeah.
music like song like boom. I'm like,
Mm.
dang, you did another song?
Yeah.
It took me years to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing that at like 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Just verses and he just can do that. And so we'll have be on the song and he'll have 16 bars, or 8 bars or 16 bars. And he like to do the tongue twisting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
stuff like that. Or some people call it speed rapping
Yeah.
or whatever. He'll do all that stuff. And so speed rapping takes way more words
Mm.
than somebody
Yeah.
it's way less fewer words, but he'll have the and he'd be done in like 3 5 minutes,
Goodness.
like 45 minutes or
Mm.
whatever. It'd be done in like 5 minutes. He'd be done, and I'm sitting here on my nursery rhyme 8 bars, and it
Yeah.
take me like 3 hours, and it
Mm-hmm.
was still trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
so to say all that, like I had to work harder.
Mm-hmm.
So people see my talent. Yes, I am talented. I think
Mm-hmm.
my talent is that I'm creative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very creative. But the thing that I always had to work on was skill.
Gotcha.
So, and I had to take time to know how something works so I can really master it. So now people here now understand how to put a beat together, how
Mhm.
to orchestrate, to arrange the strings from the vocals and the guitar from the piano and all this stuff, how to make it sound good and understand frequency. I know right now there's a lot of stuff going over your head, love
A
bug,
whole nother
but
world.
but for people that understand what I'm saying, they get it. But it's a lot that goes into doing music, and even when it comes to the writing,
Hmm.
just having a vocabulary,
Yeah.
knowing how to put words together, make stuff, how you have a dope cadence
Hmm.
and let stuff like something that may sound corny, but you can make it sound fly.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that when I went to Job Corps.
Okay.
When I went to Job Corps, that's when I really honed in on my beat making skills
Okay.
because I stayed in a dorm. Shout out to Turner Job Corps Albany.
Hmm.
I went there around 2005. I was there for a year. 2005, I lived in Albany, Georgia, 2005. And while everybody after class, we was on the dorm. It's kind of like my college dorm experience,
Okay.
to
Hmm.
to that. It wasn't still the college all the way,
I got you.
but 'cause we had curfews and stuff like that. While everybody be outside trying to holler at girls, I be in my dorm. I had this little crappy laptop that my mama had, this old little laptop. You know how like how the
Oh
laptop fold,
man.
that was coming off. So yeah, we didn't have it like that, but
Right.
I was trying to figure this out. So I had that, and I'm in my dorm room. I had like some what you call them, little Logitech little, do you remember the old computer speakers that be white? And I had some of those. I took those from the house, had those in my, and I used to use those to make beats on. And there I had like a little, they had old little computer mics. They'd be like this big. You can sit them on a monitor,
Hmm.
or the one that can stand up. It was like real skinny. So I had the studio
All
in
right
the
now.
dorm. So we had two preachers. You had the preach that cut hair, and you had to preach. And that's my nickname. My friend called me Preach.
Okay.
So and that's a whole nother thing that I had to change my name. I used to go by Preach, and I had to change it. But in the dorms, you had Preach that cut hair, and you had Preach that made beats, and they had the studio.
Okay.
So I was known for they do cold on beats. Like I was in that dorm room all the time trying to master making beats like Lil Jon,
Hmm.
Kanye West, Dr. Dre, all my favorite producers.
Yeah.
I was trying to make beats like them. I didn't have my own sound
Not yet.
at the time,
Yeah.
but I was just trying to understand, okay, how they putting their drum patterns together, what makes this type of beat, like
Okay.
what are they doing? Even though I was doing everything on my computer, but I was trying to do everything I could to do what was hot.
Hmm.
That was a real cool thing because I was able to, I was able to get a lot of the rappers on campus. They'll come, we
Hmm.
do songs and stuff like that. So we was able to put on I ain't gonna call it a pet rally, but like little concerts. Like this is after school hours. They let us get the gym,
Hmm.
or we do some outside.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They'll bring the speakers out, allow us to do this stuff like this. I was setting all this stuff up. So I already was starting to use my this skill of promotion and all this stuff at the time. I really didn't know it, but I'm just like, shoot, we just want to rap and let the
Yeah.
girls see us and stuff like that. So, we did that, but then, this is when I start realizing like, how people start seeing me, like, oh, you the producer.
Hmm.
Even though I'm on the songs rapping with them, but you the producer. And so we had a situation before, um, you remember Phil Mob?
Hmm.
So they could, they from Albany, Georgia,
Hmm.
and they had a studio in Albany, Georgia. And so I don't know how we got an opportunity to go to their studio. The rappers didn't want to tell me.
Okay.
And so, and then I'm saying, I'm like, people I'm real cool with. I'm like, bro, what's up, bro? Every day, what's up, y'all? You know what I mean? We cool, eating lunch together and stuff like that. And then one day they were just like, oh yeah, we go. I'm like, man, why nobody tell me? I was hurt about that. Like,
Hmm.
I'm looking out for y'all. I'm using my even though it's cheap,
Hmm.
but I'm using my
My
stuff.
stuff. Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So y'all can have songs and y'all can perform and do stuff like this. And one of the dudes like, hey man, nah, but look, Tramaine, this for the real MCs.
Hmm.
Like
Woof.
I was like, what?
What? Meet me
You know what
outside.
I mean? Like, why y'all gonna do me like this? Like,
Yeah.
but as I like realized, like I said, Cass, I'm going back and forth with
Yeah.
him, his verses be fire.
Hmm.
That my verses be nowhere near his. It's ain't even on a level one.
Yeah.
So I realized some, even though it hurt my feelings, and we did a whole diss song.
Mm. Oh boy.
It did a whole diss song. Me, Black, and Cat, we did a whole diss song. And
Oh.
and whatever. And Black took it back up there. Everybody heard it. You know what I'm saying? But my verse and stuff was fine. At the time, I took made sure, because I'm saying factual stuff
Right.
in the song, but I realized but those guys really made me step my game up.
Hmm.
Like in the sense, like I don't like all that work for the good that
Hmm.
I just taught that Sunday.
Yeah.
Like that really let me see that Tramaine, like you need to step your lyrics up, like
Yeah.
because you had dudes from New York and stuff. Up north rappers got like they be having no
Yeah.
bars,
Mm.
punchlines, whole swag.
Mm.
So I'm from Atlanta, so a lot of I'm not saying people from Atlanta can't rap because we can,
Yeah.
but being around them, they battle rapping.
Yeah.
We outside, they battle rapping each other.
Right.
Like really like how you see right, they was doing it on campus, like
Hmm.
battle rap, going at it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just a producer at the
I
time.
got
You know
you.
what I mean? So to see that, it made me realize like I need to step my game up. So that leads me to leaving there.
Okay, so hold on. Before you get into
Okay.
leaving there, shout out to Cass
Mhm.
for helping you kind of get your foundation in the, systems, or what do you call them?
FL Studio,
FL Studios. There we
FAQ
go.
production.
The production. I'm still learning here. And so even coming up, in the job corps space and kind of feeling like the underdog in some sense, what did that build in you to say, I actually want to do this full time? Like, I want to pursue a career in music. How did you get there?
Um, so before I went to Job Corps, so so this kind of go back a little bit.
Okay.
So 17 is when I realized I wanted to do this full time. So and really be an artist.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of have to start there to kind of answer this question. So um 12, I realized I can rap and I liked it.
Okay.
14, I had this vision like I feel like we can do this ourselves.
Okay.
17, when I already had FL Studios, Cass already kind of taught me how to structure a beat.
Mm-hmm.
But then Cass he gave me another program called Acid Pro.
Mm.
So that was the program that we used at the time to record our vocals in. But before I was able to record, I had a job and I ended up going to Radio Shack. I had this mindset. This how I knew
We
this.
dating ourselves, Radio Shack.
Yeah, Radio Shack. Yeah. So I had this mindset. I knew that I couldn't afford studio time.
Mm.
We barely can buy
Yeah.
clothes and shoes. But I had a little job of working at Waffle House,
Okay.
and no, this was Ronnie's. I started working at Ronnie's. So matter of fact, I'm out of school at the time because I had to drop out.
Mm.
So we're talking about the school. I had to drop out of school because that 10th grade year jacked me up, and my guidance counselor said that you'll be graduating at 21.
My
So
goodness.
my mom told me, no, you're gonna get your GED.
Got
So
you.
that's how we get the Job Corps. But
Okay.
anyways, at this time, 17 years old, I go and I start working for Ronies, but I had this mindset of, and I still got this mindset to this day.
Yeah.
It's like I rather invest in the stuff and do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to pay a whole lot of people to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that saved me money. I can cut costs. It may take my time, but that's what I did. So at 17, I had that mindset. My mother had a computer, an old little Windows computer. It wasn't really that fast, powerful, but it worked enough so we can make some beats on it and record. I went to Radio Shack. I bought a mic stand. I bought a mic, one of those stage mics,
Mm-hmm.
and we had that. We all recorded on that for a long time before we like. You see this mic right here. This is a
Yeah.
condenser mic, and the first condenser mic we had, it was years way after that. So we was on a dynamic mic recording our rap songs on, and so that's when I knew. that I started really taking it serious. And when I started taking those my first investments into buying equipment and taking it serious, um, and stuff like that. And so in Job Corps, I was like I said, Job Corps came
Yeah.
after that. So I'm in while everybody else outside
Studying your
playing or trying to
craft.
holler at girls.
Yeah.
I'm in my
Making
dorm
beats.
room practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Practice make perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I put in well over 10,000 hours
Mm-hmm.
in making beats and things like that. So, but that's how I got good. So that,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. So now, as it keeps going, your musical career, let's talk about some projects you worked on. So, what did it lead to after Job Corps? Like, how did you get introduced to other things?
We had a group called Chopper Squad.
Okay.
And a lot of people thought that we were a gang,
Goodness.
but we wasn't a gang. We were just a music group, but we were just a lot of us.
Like, how many?
It was a lot of us. I can't even, I can say probably like 40.
Forty.
Like you did have a lot of people just around. Yeah, I had a lot of people that just be around. At one time it probably could be up to like 40 people, but sometimes we have people come in and out. They were part of the squad.
Okay.
So, and people did music and then some people just around.
Yeah.
So what we used to do was like they had this club on MLK, Martin Luther King, called Club BIM. And like they had like these little not little, they had like these showcase nights
Mm-hmm.
where like competitions and stuff like that. And so we used to do those type of things all the time and win them.
Mm-hmm.
People used to come and say things like, 'cause we was at the club, we was brought up the club BIM because they supposed to been connected with social deaf DJs at the time.
Gotcha.
So the man that was running it and everything, he was trying to manage us and stuff like that. But the people that won that supposed to go into it with social deaf
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff like that. And none of that never happened.
Oh boy.
But we had our whole thing. We had so Cass, I'm telling Cass is so talented, like super creative. So he used to make all our t-shirts,
Mm.
and everybody had a dope design and he used to get the fabric paint because at the time we used to wear the tall tees,
Yeah. That's
and
back
so
then.
and we used to have I used to have my preach name on the back as a
Mm-hmm.
name plate, all the stuff that I wanted on my shirt. I used to have the hat, like I used to buy the hats and we used to so when we go, everybody had their stuff. We had a look.
Okay.
Like we had a look and we came in, they were like, who is that?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just me, it was all of
All of
us.
y'all.
So so we used to do those type of things. And then at one point, we had another opportunity to where I don't know what happened to this, but Lil Wayne had like some type of competition. So it was like the Georgia World Congress Center, where it was almost like some American Idol type of deal where people come and audition.
Yeah.
And so my whole squad went and did it. And so only two of us made it to the next round of it. So it was me and my partner Smoot. I didn't even know I made it.
Mm.
I didn't even know I made it until they started hitting me up like, bro, why you didn't come to this? What's the name? I'm like, I didn't know I made it. Nobody said it wasn't like American Idol. You going to
Yeah.
Hollywood? They didn't do none of that. But it's
Oh.
funny because we all went. I went in there. I had a rap. I rapped my rap,
Mm-hmm.
and the rap was fire, but I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up. And so they was like, so you had three judges. So funny. You have three judges. You have one judge like this, and then you had another judge that's semi, and then one dude just sitting there,
That, yeah.
like, didn't give you nothing. So you
Yeah.
gotta. I had my mindset bypass him. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna do my thing, and I mess up on one of my lines. They were like, oh, I said, hold on, wait. I can sing too though. I can sing too though, like that. And, and then I started singing Usher, you remind me of a girl. I sung that. And they
Okay.
were like, and them girls in there going crazy. I think that really would help because they were like, oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and speaking of that, I wasn't singing R&B or
At that
nothing.
time.
I was just rapping.
Mm. But you knew that you could
I
sing.
know I always
Yeah.
know I could sing, but in the reason why
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sing because it's funny because when I think about that time, it's like I always think about like why don't I sing? Because what really made me realize like I need to sing,
Yeah.
because every time I sing how the girls go crazy,
Hmm.
right? And so I'm married.
Amen.
Amen. But I seen how the girls went crazy. So Black Boy the Sheep, me and him. So he went to Job Corps with me, even though I knew him before Job Corps.
Okay.
But outside, we at the house, we at Auntie Kim's house in the studio, which is the dining room.
Y'all was
Every,
making it work.
everywhere, yo, I don't
Y'all was
care. Like you
figuring it
got you
out.
a mic in the studio, in the computer.
We gon'
It's just I'm going to the yo. I'm
yeah,
going to the studio. We talking about somebody's living room or basement. Yeah,
that is
so
funny.
so this one particular day, you know what I'm saying? Like I like this when I realized like I need to start singing is because like Black came over there and we normally be rapping and stuff, so he started singing on the mic.
Hmm.
Just and so girls in the room, they got what they dudes.
Hmm.
So he started singing, and at the time I wasn't really studying them. I'm like, he just singing. I want to sing too, like,
Yeah.
cause he making it. Cause Black was the gangster out of everybody, like the
Yeah.
gangster, like you know what I mean. So if he can sing like that, I want to sing too, like, cause I like to sing, like you know what I'm saying. So we
Yeah.
started singing. He hit something, I hit something. He hit something, I hit something, and then I just started seeing the girls start getting a little like.
Loose.
You know what I'm saying? And they got dudes, and then me both saw it. He was like, "Bro, we saw it." After that, we were like, "Well, you seen that?"
Yeah.
So that's when I started really kind of like getting into the R&B mode like
Okay.
that. And so, but I didn't realize that the singing was a thing. I thought it was always corny.
Mm.
I thought people gonna laugh at me. And then when I seen it, I said, "Well, I should have been singing in high
All
school.
alone. Mhm.
Like I would have had way more."
All right now. Let's tread lightly.
Copy that. See what I'm saying? So, like, I never met Lil Wayne when all that stuff happened. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So we had that. Me and my partner Smoot. Um, we go to the next round, which I didn't know at the time. So I'm trying. I'm just because at the time I'm his producer. So I'm just thinking that I'm just gonna help him. I'm just gonna ride with him, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so they end up calling me. It was like, "Hey Tramaine, like, um, hey man, why you didn't come to the Western? You know you made it." I said, "I didn't know that." He's like, "Yeah, man, like So they had this thing where they want you to sell like you had to sell like 20 tickets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think there was a part of their thing to see if you can sell tickets or you can do certain stuff.
Hmm.
But you sell a ticket, but you gotta get the money to them. So to me, I thought it was kind of like a money grab
Gotcha.
as well. But and this is the time where Lil Wayne is um
Like,
like this
like
oh
on everything.
six,
Yeah.
it's like oh 06, oh 07 where he's like really starting to take off,
Hmm.
like as the Grammy Lil Wayne.
Hmm.
All those mixtapes and stuff
Hmm.
like this. Wayne really that dude at the time.
Yeah.
So um so we had that didn't pan out well. And then as the stuff started going, I'm still I was working on a project on my own called Odyssey.
Hmm.
It never seen the light of day. It never seen the light of days. I don't even know where the songs are at. It has a couple of good.
Singing, rapping, what is
It
it?
was both, but
Okay.
it was more R&B because
Okay.
I was trying to.
Find your way.
When I finally I wanted to sing, and I realized I had something with the singing. So Cass's uncle is Kevin Townley. He's a director, but he started off in the music and everything first, and so he was shooting videos for all these artists.
Okay.
Like I mean, Lil Jon, East Side Boys, Yin Yang Twins, Escape. He was shooting videos for Boosie.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of artists. He got a long track record of a long resume of people he worked with. So, you know, being around him at the time, like he was the biggest person I know that got connects or whatever. So, he ended up, having showcases and stuff like that. At this time when he had the showcase, I won't into showcases no more because I'm like, yeah, I don't get nothing out of this.
Okay.
Granted, somebody probably can get picked up on one, but it's just like you just going to this to sharpen your skills at this point,
Mm-hmm.
just to perform. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, I've been doing it too long to just keep doing the same thing. But he had a showcase, but he was one of the guest judges. He had Big Sam from the East Side Boys
Mm-hmm.
one of the judges and had somebody else. But he allowed me and Black to be the special guest artist
Hmm.
of the whole event. And so yeah, all these people, it was so many people there, artists performing on stage and stuff like that. But and how they produced us, I mean, how they introduced us
Yeah.
was so big. Like we were just them guys. I'm like, bro, we ain't got no money. These dudes making all the money. I'm like, man, like, boy, you see that? Like, man, that look good up there. Like, well, we ain't got nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
But and so after that, like, I kind of this is when I transitioned. I started getting like 2008. I gave my life to Christ.
Mm.
And so
Okay.
I had to kind of get there
Yeah,
because
that's big.
I was trying to figure out who I am
Mm-hmm.
in Christ, like trying to understand who God made me to be. I was starting to go to church more and really trying to become everything that God said I am. And I knew that God wanted me to continue to do music, but I know I couldn't do music how everybody else do it. Like the praise. I grew up on hip hop and R&B,
Yeah.
and so I didn't know how to transition. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? And mind you, I don't know nothing about performing and doing ministry at church.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know everything I know is in the street,
Mm-hmm.
like so and just normal worldly. What's the word? Uh,
Secular. No.
Secular,
Okay.
in the secular world, like how to kind of do it from that perspective. So yeah, so I ended up trying to figure that out. So and I've been asking, oh, God, I don't know how to transition from this. I know I'm trying to get to your question because that kind of leads me to all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So because I can bring up certain people, but y'all, I want y'all to know
Context. Yeah.
how I got
How you
here
got there.
because like it wasn't like, oh yeah, one day he just doing gospel music now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, like I was on a train, on the bus in the train one day because I didn't have a car. And I was living on Beecher, like on the west end of Atlanta, on the west side of Atlanta, on the west end, on Beecher Street. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lady, a young girl on the bus, and she was cool, and she had a little CD player, a
Yeah.
little Walkman CD player thing, and I'm like, hey, what you listening to? Like, you know what I'm saying? We on the bus, and she was like, oh, I'm listening to Lecrae. I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening to Flame. Now, this is the time when like a lot of people really didn't know who they were at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. So everybody see Lecrae now as Grammy Award winning.
Yeah.
I was listening to him way before all that. She gave me she made me a data disc. It's a CD with just got folders on it. And it had Lecrae, it had Flame, and it had The Truth
Oh,
on it.
so you saw her quite often.
Yeah, we linked up.
Oh, okay.
We linked and nothing like that. See what I'm saying?
I just wanted it. I never heard
Yeah,
that
see
before.
what I'm saying? A long time ago.
Interesting.
Uh, okay. But 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 anyways, she ended up giving me that and she invited me out to her church.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed on the west side. Her church was all the way in Stone Mountain, somewhere in
Kansas.
Riverdale, I
Yeah.
think. So it was a long way to catch the bus to go all the way over there to go to her church, and then catch the bus and go all the way back home.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, that's how I got around was MARTA,
Mm.
the bus and the train. But I was able to listen to that, and I'm listening. I'm like, this how I can do this,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I still couldn't find nobody that did the singing. How I like to do the singing.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the internet just trying to find gospel R&B type artists
Mm-hmm.
that had the type of music. If they got the hip hop, the rap,
Yeah.
and somebody got to be doing
Somebody.
this
Mm-hmm.
this stuff. And then I came across Ken Jones.
Okay.
And when I came across Ken Jones and I heard that I must stay safe. I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm like, dang, this fire. So I got that Accident Granted album that he had. And I'm like, this is fire, bro. Like it had that soulful, it didn't sound churchy.
Yeah,
It sounded like somebody that figured out how to blend this and make it sound good and feel good, but not feel like everything is sad in a worship song.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, so this how I can do it. So I started listening to that a lot. So that's when, because at this time I'm going to church, and I still didn't have my own sound.
Got it.
Because even when I was in the world, I didn't have my own sound. Everything that I did, like when I was rapping, when Jesus was hot, I sound like who was hot.
Mm-hmm.
Said it in, and I learned this from a guy. So people that listen, this is something that I learned from actually when I actually met Boyz the Men's manager.
Mm.
Because I went to like this seminar. They had DJ Drummer there, Tasha Love. It was I forgot the man's name, but their manager at the time, and he gave something. He said something that was very important because y'all remember that party like a rock,
Yeah,
party like a
I was
rock
in
star.
college. And
Yeah, so when that song came out, everybody was trying to do a party like a rock star.
yeah,
Everybody was trying to mimic that. So when he did that, like we was in this seminar, he said that to them like, hey man, we got this song and they changed the name and it's kind of like this and so when he heard, I forgot that they played it or not, but
yeah.
and he was like, man, y'all just stole their whole sound. And so, but he separated something. He said it's one thing to copy greatness is another thing to steal somebody's whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you see Beyonce, you see Beyonce, but you can see some Tina Turner. You can
Mm-hmm.
see a couple, he can name a couple other people, some
Mm.
little Diana Ross.
Yeah,
You can see some of her influences,
influences.
but she made it her.
Mm-hmm.
And so that always stuck with me. And Black Boy always to say things like, bro, bro, the song fire, bro, but you sound just like such and such on here.
Mm-hmm.
You sound just like this person. So now I sound like me.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
so I had to figure that out listening, even though I was trying to transition from secular to gospel, but I'm trying to figure out me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, at one point, Tank is one of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
So everything I did, I was trying to hit a Tank run, or I sound like Music Soul Child, or I sound like Jagged Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So now you may still hear some of that. You can tell like they inspire me, but I still trying to make it sound like me now. So yeah.
But that's cool. You've done a lot in a short amount of time, and
Mm-hmm.
all of this kind of make you into who you are. So when we think about the different hats that you wear, producer, songwriter, engineer, beat maker, what does that creative process look like when you do everything?
It really depends. It's like so like people ask when you start a song, do you start with the beat first, you write
Yeah.
the lyrics first, or it just depends. It comes so different.
Mm-hmm.
It comes so different. Like, for one, I'm always creative. So one of the things is I ask God when I praise God I pray for unlimited creativity.
Yes.
So it's not just being creative in music, but it's creative in anything. I see the creativity in anything. So, but my process with all this, of course, you gotta. Um, sometimes I may have a hook in my head, and because I can make beats, I can go back and I hear the beat, I can go back and make the beat.
Okay.
Or sometimes I just want to make beats,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just making beats, and then sometimes as I'm making a beat, a hook could just come in my head like that. Oh, let me go ahead and drop this. Let me go
Yeah.
ahead and record this because I don't want to forget it, and I want to act on the creativity right then and right then and right at that moment. So, yeah, so
So it varies.
yeah, it varies. Like it's very different, man, from time to time.
So I can say for me, this whole musical industry is very foreign to me. Like, of course, I would listen to the radio and see things, but to be up close and personal and just to see, like, come in the studio and see you recording, or you don't have anything written down. You just go, and I'm like, what are you doing? How are you doing this? You finish this in like 10 minutes.
So, um, so people just think that it's just like, man, he went in the booth and just put all his bars down like this.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't Jay-Z or somebody where I just go just have a whole verse of auto, just magically just freestyle a verse and put it on the song.
Yeah.
I have had verses. I had one in the studio and put a verse down like that, but I already knew the verse.
Hmm.
So it's just like, oh, this verse will fit this song. So I'm gonna go ahead and just
Yeah.
do that when I go to somebody else's session. But some people like, man, you don't write. Yeah, I don't write it down because I know how to record myself.
Gotcha.
So when I'm sitting in the studio and I'm recording, I'm hitting the record and stop button. So I will think of a line, record it, get it how I want to say it, and then okay, and I stop and then okay, what's the next line? Then I'll punch in
Yeah.
and just finish it, and get it exactly how I want it, and then come up with the next line and then do that. And so I am writing. I'm just writing it using the software to. I'm just recording, doing like a voice memo,
Okay.
but
I
I'm
got
just
you.
recording it. So, but then sometimes I have moments where I probably would sit down and just, let me just write it out
Mm.
to give a different feel of how I'm creating, just to be creative.
Just to be creative. I don't want to skim over this because you really do wear a lot of hats. So even seeing you as a producer, people come over to record and people have even said like I get a certain sound when they work with you. What is it that you do? What do you hear? Because it's like a lot of people can sing, a lot of people can make beats, but everybody can't produce. Everybody can't help people learn how to project or hit a voice or sing it this way or do that.
It's just like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I have 20 years. We talking about things, we were talking about stories about this some stuff that
Yeah.
happened years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 38. I really started taking this at 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to so much music. I made so much music, messed up a lot of music, like
That's how
hearing
you get
myself
better.
like that don't sound good. I know it sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying. So, and music is very subjective, but because
Yes.
somebody may work with me and be like, "Nah, he ain't my cup of tea. Like he
Mm-hmm.
don't fit my style." So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How I may record, I may want to do like a bunch of different stacks to balance out the mix and do certain things, and somebody be like, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to. I want like one ad, I want one harmony here and whatever, and however the case may be. But I just try to, learn from me and what I hear. I analyze music. I really study music.
Yeah.
So in school they call it critical listening.
Yeah.
So you sit there, you listening, you put your headphones on, you listening to the instruments. Like I don't listen to music like most people just listen. They say, "Oh yeah, the beat nice and warm." I sit there
Yeah.
and analyze. I'm analyzing the mix. I'm analyzing. Okay, I see how they put those vocals, and it sounds like it's back here,
Mm-hmm.
and how like the vocal is just like sitting in its own, the lead vocal sitting in its own space, but that guitar is going around your head. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying attention
It's
to it on a
everything.
whole different level. So now when I'm listening to people and so as a producer too, my job when I'm working with an artist is to not change the artist, but
Mm-hmm.
enhance them.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to like, because if they come in here, they got something that they trying to do, something they hear in their head. So my job is trying to get it out the best way and how to, okay, all right, they not receiving this from it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Being a producer and an engineer takes a lot of patience,
Yeah.
a lot of emotional intelligence. You got to know, okay, all right, let's go to another part because you can see they're getting frustrated and restless.
Petite. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into being a producer. Uh, because and is one thing that you said that I love. I'm surprised that you said it. Is that is being a producer different from being a beat maker?
Oh yeah. I realize that. Yeah.
Because you got people that make beats.
Mm-hmm.
They can sit here and make a beat, but they don't understand that sometimes when you're making a beat, you gotta have you got to leave space for vocals to sit on it. If you want
Mm-hmm.
somebody to rap on it, I don't estimate beats and people like, bro, I don't know where I'm supposed to get in at on the beat.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where the hook at?
Mm.
Like what part is the hook? What part is the verse? So me knowing that, me being an artist myself, I know what I'm looking for
Mm-hmm.
when I'm dealing with stuff. So when I'm making beats, I try to make sure that they know, oh, this the hook. A
Yeah.
lot more instruments come in right here. It's like it's it seemed more fuller, but then the beat kind of instruments go away, so vocals to sit the lead vocals.
Consistent.
Now you listen to the verse. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into that, and like that's just talking about just from a producer, beat making, and then you talking about engineering. That's a whole nother thing.
So you not only just do that, you do websites, marketing, branding. You went to school for all of this. So let's just talk about your how you pursue higher education. I know you talked about how when it first you first got started, you got off to a rocky start with having to repeat a grade, having to go to Job Corps, and it's like God just almost start redeeming time in some areas for you.
All right, so Job Corps. When I went to Job Corps, um, I did graduate Job Corps with my trade, but I never got my GED.
Okay.
I failed my GED by 1 point, and so that was a thing for me.
And why was that?
Because of not being able to, I feel like I felt eighth grade once and I felt 10th grade, and then I didn't finish high school. And then I go to Job Corps. And the crazy thing is the teacher, I mean, one of the ladies was like, just stay one more week because I was ready to term out.
Mm-hmm.
They call it term out, like you better get out, leave
Yeah.
Job Corps. And but they're like, just stay one more week and you just take the test next week and you'll pass it. Cause I didn't understand that I just needed to take one test and just
Be
pass it
done.
to get and I can have my GED. But I was so homesick that I was ready to go. So that was a whole thing, and that was 2005.
Okay.
So when this happened, so I'm like 18, 19 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward all the way to like 30 when I got my GD.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I got my GD because I had people that loved and care about me just kept telling me, when my best friends, McKinley Hardy, was like, "Hey, Brand, look, bro, you need to get your GED." He
Mm-hmm.
just said that to me all the time. But man, you don't like, to be rich, bro, you don't need a GED.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a GED. You look at all these rappers. Look at Eminem. He didn't have a GED or none of that, but he's a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Those are my excuses to kind of get out of that. And then I moved to Kansas. And so I ended up working for a Fortune 500 company as a supervisor. And but my work schedule was crazy all the time.
Okay.
And so my pastor at the time, he kept it 100 with me. He like, listen, man, that job got you by your balls.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it 100. He said, hey, dude, he said, listen, you need to get your GED.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said, I promise you, once you get your GED, you're gonna feel like you can take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not knowing all the stuff that I had to go through from that, but that was a fear. So I asked to go get the GED,
Praise God.
passed it like this, quick, got it, boom. I'm like, dang, that was easy. This
Mm-hmm.
so this whole thing I had this fear of, it wasn't even hard.
Right.
But I do realize though, it probably meant for me to get it at that age because I feel like my mind was more developed. I was
I
more
can see.
focused
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Because when I was younger, school was not hitting it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really focus
A lot
like I
going
wanted
on too.
to
Yeah.
in school like that. I don't know what it was. But doing it how I did it. So fast forward to 2019. So I was 30. That's had to be like I forgot what it was. So
Okay, hold on. Let's just put a pin in this for a second. So let's talk about the idea of mental blocks from you saying, okay, I'm 1 point away, failed eighth grade, all of these things you had to overcome with that.
mhm.
But then people, you said Apostle McKinley speaks to you, and then this pastor speaks to you. What makes you open up your mind? Why are you in this space now? Why are you open to receive? Why are you open to listen?
Well, I was more open to listen with Pastor B because all the other seeds that were sown in my life
Okay.
from previous people telling me you need to do this, do that. But then also I realized that I was in a place like, man, like it gotta be more to life than this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the music thing won't, it was going, but it wasn't moving like that. But I'm just working. I'm
Okay.
tired, I'm working. I'm co-parenting, but I'm a single father at the
Gotcha.
time. Now I have a son now.
Okay.
So at this time, so I'm just like, man, but when he said it, I'm trying to better myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing like, Tramaine, it's time to grow up,
Yeah.
and and that's what kind of helped push me to get the GED, and then I realized I need accountability. So what I said to Pastor B, Bishop B now,
Mm-hmm.
but what I said to him was, I said, listen, I'm a hold me to this.
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, you shouldn't have to come to me and check on me and see if you did it. But I know what I needed because I didn't have that father figure in my life to be
Yeah.
on my head to push me. What are you doing? Did you do your homework? Did
Mm-hmm.
you do this? Did you do that? I didn't have that.
Yeah.
So it was just like my mom did best she could. Like I said, we was at the house. Like,
Right.
she'd be at work. We'd be outside late. Everybody else in the house, or we have people in the house. She probably didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just, because she was at work trying to take care of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, kind of moving back to the 2019 part of me going to college.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, I got my GED, but I'm looking like I don't think I can do college because I ain't feel like I didn't complete high school.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I got my GED. So I'm trying to conquer all these fears of my life.
Yeah.
And I did it.
You did it.
I did it. So
And I was there to see it. Praise God.
how that happened, like matter, she wasn't in my life at the
Not
time.
at this point.
So at this time, like, I'm going to Divine Generation, which is Omni Arbor Church now. But I was going to Divine Generation and Apostle McKinley Hardy, and kids like my big brother. Cause matter of fact, being around him, he's one of those people that's like you ain't got no choice but to get better, or
That's
you just
good.
gonna get away or leave because I ain't got time to get in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody need that.
But I needed that big brother
Mm-hmm.
love to be on my head, like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
you can do it, bro. No, you didn't go to college. So when he told me, when he said, first of all, like what I see about you, bro, it's like you super gifted, you super talented. But he said, bro, you need to get in a classroom setting where you can sit down and be taught.
Mm.
Because everything that I've been doing it, learning it on my own. But nobody taught me properly how to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I was dating a young lady at the time, and that was a whole conversation that me and her had about school because she didn't know that that was a thing, and because
Okay.
I was getting irritated because she was like, "Why don't you just go to school? Why don't you do this?" And I'm like, "No." And she was like, "What?" She was like, "Listen, regardless of what, that's one thing she told me." And it's like, you need to go do that. And so I needed money to pay for. I think I needed some money to pay because I was on child support at the time and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff going on. I said, she was like, she gave me the money that I needed so I can get my taxes done,
That's
so
good.
I can so I needed all my taxes because I had taxes I didn't do. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of little foolish little boy things I didn't do.
Yeah.
And so she blessed me with that so I can be able to do what I need to do so I can get in school.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, like, I went to Full Sail University. And even how that happened, because when me and McKinley had I gave McKinley the same conversation that I gave Pastor B.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, I know you shouldn't have to say nothing to me, but I'm gonna do it. But if I don't come to you and say something,
Yeah.
because I needed to do that so I could hold myself accountable.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How important is it now for young men to surround themselves in community? Um, and how did that impact your life? And what advice would you give to somebody to say, hey, I'm looking for that, but I don't even know where to start with being able to trust somebody in that way?
Because I ain't gonna lie, once I gave my life to Christ,
Mm-hmm.
my life really started shifting because of God started putting me around men of God,
Okay.
um, pastors. I have so many pastors, apostles, and bishops, ministers
Mm-hmm.
as friends.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like I be sitting here like, man, I'm in like, I be people that's over big churches and we just call them, we just talking like, hey, what's up, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm able and I have those relationships. And so God just blessed me with when I went to Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
it's what really what showed me McKinley was before Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
but Kansas showed me the brotherhood.
Gotcha.
of seeing so many men come together and support me.
Yeah.
And this will blow me away because I first moved to Kansas um for my second marriage
Mm-hmm.
that I was in. And I moved to Kansas and nobody know me like that. They just knew me through her.
Mm-hmm.
And these men that went to the church, the pastor and all them. So it was my birthday and I ain't know nobody. And I tell you, everybody came,
Yeah.
every the head pastor, Pastor B, Pastor Bird, Pastor Ron,
Mm-hmm.
Deacon Briggs,
Yeah.
uh Big. I mean, everybody came to my house that day for my birthday to celebrate my birthday. And the only thing we did was play Madden, eat pizza, and eat wings, and laugh and joke.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need that.
Yeah, and they did not make me feel like I was by myself, even when I was going through one of the toughest, darkest times of my life, going through that divorce, feeling by myself. Now I'm in a city that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm far away from my family and my friends, and just having that support. Even the bosses that I had, for the company I work for.
Mm-hmm.
They took their time out to pour into me. I
Yeah.
had one boss manager at the time, he just, everybody gone and he just sitting there, he was teaching me finances, like how to budget and how to do certain things because I ain't had nobody. And this like they seem like he got a good head on his shoulder, but he don't have no guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, they say little thing like, boy, I need to claim you on my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Taught me leadership, taught me all these different things. So for somebody that's out there that
Mm-hmm.
that don't have that, and you feel like you didn't have that growing up or whatever the case may be, I would suggest going to a good church
Mm-hmm.
with some good men at, some good leaders, some men out
Mm-hmm.
there that could pour into you.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, I'm not saying just take everything that somebody say, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like, it's people, it's some genuine people out there that really want to see you do well,
Yeah.
and move your pride to the side. Because that was my issue. When McKinley was telling me about going to get my GED, my pride was I want to do it my way.
Yeah.
And that was another reason why I was able to, okay, when Pastor B said something to me, I was able to say, "All right, I'm gonna get my GED," because I realized I've been bumping my head. Every time somebody tell me something, I do the opposite because I had the chip on my shoulder. My father wasn't there. I'm gonna show y'all how to be
Mm-hmm.
a man, not realize it's a man is somebody that can listen to another man too.
That's good.
Like, so and be able to learn. Iron sharpens iron. And you can't grow on the island by yourself.
So we've been talking about all of your roles,
Hmm.
right? As a producer, as a creator,
Hmm.
right? As an artist. And you even mentioned coming up, you got the nickname Preach,
Hmm.
right? Even though, you run around your father a lot, you didn't have a ton of time with him. He actually left you a great legacy though in that with preaching in the church. Even now we are reaping some of the benefits of that. You come from a family and a foundation of the church.
Hmm.
So with all of these titles, we add in licensed minister.
Hmm.
Let's kind of talk about that for a little bit. How does that shape your music?
Me having a title, it doesn't shape my music because I was already ministering before I got the title.
Got it.
The more I get in the word and spend time with God and get closer to my Heavenly Father, that what shapes my music.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I get to know who I am, the more I get to know who He is,
Mm-hmm.
the more I understand His ways. That's what shapes my music to be what it is.
That's good.
Mhm.
Now, you coined the term R&G, rhythm and gospel, right? Because you were saying that when you were coming up and like, I don't see any examples. I see the Lecrae's, I see the rap piece of it, but I'm
Mhm.
not really finding the R&B piece. How does that show up in traditional spaces? So when you're going into these spaces and, the older says, I don't want to hear all that beat bop bop. How do how does that translate over to different spaces?
At one point in time, it was very hard to do that type of music in churches,
Yeah.
unless you was kind of like doing like a youth conference or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But now it's starting to be more receptive, people being more receptive to it,
Mm-hmm.
because times are changing. and you starting to get more of our age or a little older,
Yeah.
people that grew up on that type of music in leadership in churches. Not saying you don't have older saints, but you have people that's kind of like bridging the gap
Mm-hmm.
for that to happen. But it is tough sometimes when you go to a church or a ministry and you have older, you may have a mix, but you have older people and ain't nobody moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you like this: people only move is only how they move, how their leadership move.
Mm.
So,
Unpack that.
um, so if your pastor is kind of like teaching certain things of, we need to be buttoned up or we don't,
Mm-hmm.
people start moving like
They
that too.
follow.
People
Mm-hmm.
become like their leader.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it's self-explanatory. Like people
Yeah.
just be like their leader. And you may have a pastor that is open
Mm-hmm.
to certain things, and to certain music and certain, I'm not talking about crazy stuff. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
certain things that go on in church and they are more open, they not super duper strict, and I guess you can say that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will allow for things to happen so people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They can let their head down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to do all this extra stuff
Mm-hmm.
to look good. And so that anybody else I know ain't gonna clap.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So with so much going on in the industry, music industry, I personally feel like God is keeping you hidden for a reason, right?
Hmm.
You had to go through the experiences, you had to go through the setbacks, but then you take everything that's going on in the church. We look at social media, it's always something that's going viral for things that's not good, right? So if you take the industry and then you take the body of Christ, which sometimes look like it's blending, you can't even tell who is who. In a world like this at this time, how do you stay motivated?
Two words: intrinsic or extrinsic.
Mm.
So
All right now.
I am intrinsically motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was extrinsically motivated, I'm motivated by money or
Mm-hmm.
whatever selfish reason. But intrinsically, I'm motivated by purpose and
It's
what
good.
I'm called to do. So I know I'm called to do this. I know it's not just me singing, it's really just, you know, developing people. Like
Mm-hmm.
my music, like when you hear my musical and you hear me teach, I'm not just preaching to people. I'm teaching. I want to teach you the word. I want you to understand
Yeah.
who you are in Christ. I want you to know who he is to you so that you can walk away empowered,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but I know I was called to do that. And I know I was called to do that because what God told me himself, that
Mm-hmm.
God uh, affirmed it through a prophet.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay. So we've been talking about you in all of these multiple roles because I don't think people understand the depth to who you are as a person, how many hats you wear. So as we think about you being like a husband, father, a
mhm.
son, of course, an artist, a licensed minister, how do you balance all of that? You work full time.
Work full time.
Yes.
So,
We
um,
recently married. We're a blended family. It's so many levels to this thing.
mhm.
So how you figure out balance with that?
It's tough.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It's tough. Man, it's just like, because especially like for instance with trying to put together this legendary album and stuff like that. Like, most people, I ain't gonna say most, but people, when you with a label,
Mm-hmm.
right, you have a team, they got a machine of people, marketing, they got promotion, they got people that work on your branding and image and all this stuff like that. Then you have a manager, then you got your role manager, then you have people that's doing your social media, your PR and all this stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we got to do all of it. I'm saying we because we're a team.
Amen.
But I have to do things in stages.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you like when we came out to this album, you was like, all right, baby, you need to get done with this album.
Yeah.
You get done with it. All right, you've been saying you're gonna do it, you need to get done with it. So, thank you for your patience with this. But it's days like, I know I had to get it done, but I had to be in the studio more than I was in there helping you.
Mm-hmm.
Or, other things. And then on top of that, Pastor like, hey, Tramaine, I need you to
Yeah.
teach this Sunday. I got to go out of town, so I need you to teach, whatever. So have to make sure that I'm steadying in the word. I have to do that. So I try to make sure that my family and stuff is first, but
Yeah.
then I try to make sure that I'm walking in my purpose because I like one thing being saved, but then I don't want to go to heaven and God say that like you made it in, but you didn't did nothing that I called you to do. And so, I want to make sure that I'm leaving an impact and I try to involve you.
Yeah, you do.
I
Yeah.
try to involve you. I know our boy's kind of younger, but I want to try to get them involved so we make this a family thing,
Mm-hmm.
so, and it kind of do it, but it's a lot. You working a full-time job and you there 8 hours,
Man.
and sometimes it maybe more. And then my schedule is crazy because every 2 weeks it's flipping. But people don't understand that takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at, I'm gonna make sure I say this right, but I look at this as my first job. This
Mm-hmm.
is my life. This is my life
Your
work.
first ministry. Yeah.
This is no, you my first ministry.
Come on now.
My family, my kids, my first ministry. But
Oh, you talking about the music.
yeah, but the music is me doing this is my life work.
I
This is
got
what
you.
I feel like God put me on this planet to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the job is something that it's a resource that help fund how we live and fund to pay for the equipment and stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to say this too before we go too far with another question. For people that's out there, like, I know a lot of people just want to quit their jobs and stuff like that. I was one of the people that did quit the job before,
Mm-hmm.
to pursue things. But if God told you to do it, do it. But it's nothing wrong with having a job, but you still need the finances to do what you need to do to be able to pursue this type of dream.
Yeah.
So, and I told her, like, baby, we're gonna have to like all the energy we put in at the job,
Yeah.
we gotta put a lot of that energy into what we're trying to build and accomplish. Because right now, I'm help building their stuff, somebody else's dream.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my own. I have my own dynasty, my own empire I want to build. And so, and me and my wife, we doing it. So,
Yeah.
and
Pretty cool.
y'all seeing the small beginnings of this, but it's gonna go. But anyway, go ahead.
No, that's good. I referenced you as my purpose partner when we came on,
Yeah.
right? So,
Hmm.
so let's talk about we talked about you, as a licensed minister, right?
Hmm.
You've been doing music for a long time, but it looked different in each season. So you're doing music as a single man, then you're doing it as a single father. Now I come into the picture. Now you're doing it, encompassing, more children, a wife. How does that change things? How does that add to the balancing act of doing it with the family now?
Um, it changes it a lot
Mm-hmm.
because when it's just you, it's just you.
Yeah.
So I remember before being saved and stuff like that, even then, like when I was saved, but um I said go to work,
Mm-hmm.
go to the studio, be in the studio all night, probably sleep a couple hours, then go right back to work and do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Just be in the studio working. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, me and my partners, we laugh about this stuff like, bro, like you remember when we used to
Yeah.
be up all night just doing stuff like somebody be working on their verse, recording their verse, and then somebody take a nap, let them do their thing. Then, you done all right? Then they take a nap, and then
Yeah.
like things like that. But it's hard now because I want to make sure that I'm laying next to my wife at night.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure like, all right, I've been here too long.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get up out of here. Or and sometimes it's like, all right, I need to get in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like when I'm not in here, sometimes I feel like a part of me is dying.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's just like like this ain't what's up. Like I need to go work, do something, work towards my dream. And so but yeah.
let's talk stewardship of your single season for a second. Because I think one thing about us marrying later in life is that we fully understand what it's like to be in the single space.
Hmm.
We were just talking about how different it was doing music single versus married. And so what would you say to somebody that's pursuing music and they don't have a family yet? Or, what things should they prioritize or what should they be looking toward? Because it's going to shift.
Now, if you don't work and you don't have no label, nobody like kind of paying for your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be working. But you need to be doing what I was doing. You need to work and spend all your time grinding on your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you got to get better.
Yeah.
I'm still getting better. Like this new project that I just put out, they'll be about to come out, Legendary. I feel like that project is the best project I done made. But
Agree.
now that it's done, I feel like I can do better
Yeah.
than that. I'm being dead serious. I feel like I can do better, way better than
Because
this.
you're getting better every day.
Yeah,
You're
you know what I'm
growing.
saying? But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But you gotta take time to do it. Focus in on it. I say like focus in on that stuff.
Yeah.
Like especially, men, like a wife gonna come
Mm.
if you looking for it and like work on as men work on you.
Yeah, that's good.
Women need to work on them as
Same,
well.
same for women.
Yeah,
Yes.
women are working on them too, but as a man, like you want to be able to bring something to the table and but at the same time, if you are pursuing a woman as you're doing this, make sure you have somebody that's gonna be supportive.
That's
Because
good.
I done had somebody tell me before, like, I don't believe in nothing that you're doing.
Hmm.
And that hurt me to the core. It could have came from anybody else, but it came from the woman that I loved
Yeah.
at the time. Like, that hurt.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I truly believe that if you have somebody, God bless me with
Amen.
somebody that, everything ain't perfect,
Hmm.
but God bless me with somebody that is supportive of, and she do see it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so she's like, all right, whatever you want to do. I don't care if you just want to tie shoes for a living.
I told you that today. I'm like, if you switch gears and say that's what we doing, then I'm calling tomorrow figuring out how we gonna get this.
But that's what you need. You need a support. I'm not saying just a woman that just yes into everything you do, because you need
Agree.
somebody to challenge some of your decision making sometimes, because
Yeah.
sometimes it may be a good idea, but it may not be a great idea.
Mm. It may not be the right timing.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So let's get ready to jump into Legendary, the album that's set to come out.
Yeah.
All right, on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, y'all. And actually, matter of fact, y'all probably be seeing this after the day after it comes out.
Oh yeah.
But Valentine's Day, February 14th,
Yes.
you have a legendary album.
Yes. So it is the legendary. So let's talk about the concept of it. You named it Legendary. What
Mhm.
kind of inspired that? Let's just start with the title before we get into the songs.
So I had a dream
Hmm.
one night. I know this sounds so, I had a dream, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I had a dream one night, and not to get super deep into the dream, it was like I was at a church or something, and it was like I was at a praise team rehearsal or
Hmm.
something. I don't know the people, but they were singing. It's like I was a part of the ministry, and I was just singing with them. And so, and I'm just singing a song. We all just going into worship,
Okay.
and then some lady in the dream comes, just put her hands on me and start praying over me. But then she say to me, "Be legendary,
Mm.
be legendary." She kept telling me. She said, "Go be legendary," and I'm like, "Hmm, okay." So when I woke up, it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And be legendary. That dream just stuck. Because sometimes I'm a dreamer.
Hmm.
And so when dreams stick out to me like that, I be trying to figure out, okay, God, what do you mean? What
Yeah.
what was this? And God was like, it's time.
Hmm.
And so he told me to start working on the album. And he told me to call it Legendary.
Yeah. It's so crazy because you start working on the album and then I find out I'm pregnant, right?
Hmm.
And so you like, I feel like God is calling back out. And I'm like, okay, cool. What does the timeline look like? You're like, I don't know. I got to pray and see what God want me to do. And then it's like you like, God is telling me to put it out. And I'm like, now? And so it's just like, you just don't know how God,
The single
the single,
be
yes.
holy.
You started like wanting to put stuff out. And I'm just like, okay, we're like in a phase of life where we're still building the family and you're doing the music. So it just kind of just, we had to all just come together and kind of work and make sure that you could just get this done. So
Yeah.
in September, on your birthday, you
Hmm.
released Be Holy.
Yeah.
Why did you start with that particular single?
I felt like God wanted me to put that out there because the world been going through so much
Mm-hmm.
chaos and all this stuff going on in the world. Like right now, everybody's tripping on what Trump doing or happy about what Trump doing and the economy and this, and that, and the third. And especially for us as Christians, we getting so caught up in that, instead of just being caught up in what God called us to be.
That's good.
And he
Mm-hmm.
said, be holy as I'm holy. Be committed to what he's committed to, dedicated to what he dedicated to, separating yourself.
Set apart. Yeah.
You know, uh, you should be sacred,
Mm-hmm.
and so I truly believe that it was God wanted at the time. And when I first put the song out, it was like, you know, it was funny because it's like it wasn't moving. I'm like, people ain't really biting on this like this.
Mm-hmm.
But then it start like
Really.
moving and people
Yeah.
start liking it. I've been getting more people in the industry hitting me up about the song, like, man, I like that Be Holy song.
Yeah.
Or the name in other songs too. But
Yeah.
I'll let you talk
Yeah.
about that. But yeah.
Yeah. So let's go. So you release Be Holy, then
Mhm.
Can't Get Enough, then Holy Strap. You hit with three songs in like the fourth quarter of the year. Was that strategic in how you released that, or?
It was very strategic. I wanted to, I had like we had other songs on from the album. The
Mm-hmm.
album wasn't even complete yet.
Yep.
But I just wanted to, hit people with some singles, get them more than just one song,
Mm-hmm.
get a couple songs, and each one, the next one we put out was "Can't Get Enough" featuring Sarandon,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that was just like,
That was a bop.
yeah, that's a dope song, like, you know what I'm saying. Um, I don't know, so that done well.
Okay.
And then we put out Holy Strap.
Yep.
So, but before we get to Holy Strap though, we was blessed because was Be Holy and Can't Get Enough. They are playing in Canada on the radio. They
Yeah.
playing it on like two other radio stations out here right now. So I'm kind of happy like this see because I didn't get a chance for none of this to happen with RJ Love Story because I didn't get a chance to really push
Push
it.
it. Yeah.
So like to see the push in what we're doing with these songs, and now that this album finna come, like we really finna push.
Yeah.
So, but then we put out Holy Strap,
Mm-hmm.
and like I wanted people to see the diversity in my music. Everything
Yeah.
ain't is not just because I started out rapping first.
Mm-hmm.
So, but even though I'm singing on the song, but it's a more rap feel type of
Mm-hmm.
song,
Yeah.
the bars and things, the lyrics and things that I'm saying, like, I want people to see another side of me, but at the same time, I wanted people to hear that message of, telling Satan not to play with you in this, in the sense of, just like Jesus in the wilderness, how Satan came to him in the wilderness, telling him to, hey, follow me, and I
Mm-hmm.
give you all this,
Mm-hmm.
all that, whatever. But Jesus knew the word, and he knew what the word meant, and so, and just like he told Peter, he told Satan when Peter was like, Jesus, we don't want you down on the cross, and he was like, get behind me, Satan, like,
Yeah.
so I wanted to create a song, put a song out so people have an anthem when they driving or somebody like the enemy is using somebody
Mm-hmm.
to try to influence how you feel or try to ruin your day or however it's not you rest not with flesh and blood,
Yeah.
so I want to have an anthem that you can bump, this got a lot of energy and you can tell don't play with me,
Yeah.
so that's Holy Strap.
Okay. So we recently had a listening party
Mm-hmm.
with some of our close friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good time. I mean, probably about 15 of our close 15, 20
That
people.
was more, it was like
30 people?
on the Zoom we had like 20 something. I think it was like 21, but other people was around, so it probably was
Oh,
over
probably was more
30.
than that. Yeah. So, we got a lot of support. It was a great time. And one of the things that stuck out was everybody talking about these 14 tracks, the variety of it, how
Mm-hmm.
you can listen to it straight through, whether you want something slow, upbeat, the rap, like whatever you
Hmm.
into pop, you're going to find it on this album, whether it's kid friendly, so you can listen to it in the car, you can work out, you can cook. This
Hmm.
is like an album that's going to like be timeless. And
Hmm.
people have been telling you that, like, bro, you did something with this, may be something for the books.
Yeah, I've been hearing it. Like I say, even with those singles, I've been
Yeah.
having people hit me up, um, DJs for Hot 97, and people
Yeah.
like bro, like your music, man, is like the world need to hear this, or like, bro, I love to bounce on that holy strap. And we had, like, people hitting us up to put our music on their radio stations
Yeah.
because of they like the music. So, and I done had some of my closest friends, like, Sal, he done worked with so many people.
Yeah.
Y'all go back and watch this episode with
Yeah. It was
Salvatore
good.
Parigio. He talks about a lot of stuff about Soldier Boy, the people he worked
Yeah.
with from the Yin Yang Twins to DJ Unk,
Mm.
God rest his soul,
Yeah.
um, Big Sam, the East Side Boys. He worked with so many people, you know what I'm saying? But he was one of the ones, he helped me on. He's on the album as well too. But he's like, just to hear some of these things that I'm getting back from the feedback, like, bro, this is one of your best
This
projects,
is it.
and this is like Grammy worthy.
Yeah. So
So yeah, go ahead.
I know you did the schooling, but besides the schooling, as far as I know, the schooling kind of helped with your techniques and your branding and stuff. But how was creating this project different than the Clear album?
The Clear album.
How was this one different?
Um, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. The thing is about this album, what makes this one different,
Hmm.
because when I did Orange Your Love Story, I wasn't working.
Okay.
I was doing this stuff full time.
Hmm.
But what makes this one similar to the Clear is I worked a full time job. But the difference is now with this one, I had wife and kids.
Hmm.
I had my son then too. I had Caleb at the time, but with you, Caden,
Yeah.
Trace, it's a little different. So now I'm trying to navigate three other people at the moment to try to complete this. But with the Clear album, um, you know, I didn't have I worked so much, like I
Hmm.
worked way longer hours, so it was real hard to try to uh like the mixes could have been better, or
Okay.
I was hoarse on some of the songs. Like I hear some of that stuff that I go back to now. I'm like, I will never do that again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that what makes this one different from the other ones. But this one, it's like you talking about I did Clear in 2016 of I working on it since 2015.
Okay.
So it is 2025 now.
Hmm.
And I learned so much, like you
Hmm.
said, technique, skill with mixing, my vocals, arranging vocals and harmonies and got better, all these different things. So now my production always been cool, but my production got better. So now certain things like sonically I'm doing is different from what I did then.
Yeah. And it didn't take that long. It didn't take years.
What makes it different, that one is better than Clear.
Okay. I
Like
got you.
hands
Yeah.
down. Because the reason why that was better than Clear, I'm gonna get to with the legendary, but what made that better than Clear because that was the first time when I had other writers.
Okay. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got tired of, every time I write something, I had like a couple of different ways I would write it, but I needed a different feel. So I said,
Hmm.
let me get some other writers to help jump in and help me out.
Hmm.
And so this go around, I had other writers, and I had some dope features on. I had some
Hmm.
dope features on the other one,
I'm about to
but I
say.
got some real good features on this one. And but I just feel like the Orange Love Story was a good album, but this one, like from a ministry standpoint,
Yeah.
like, cause this album is for. it's for everybody,
Hmm.
but it's really for people that's already believers.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because it's the reason why I'm gonna say this. The reason why it's for believers because it's more of encouraging people that's already believers that's not living right
Hmm.
or they are struggling areas to know who you are. They let you know that you are legendary.
Yeah.
God created you in his image and after his likeness, he made you legendary. You know, but the R&G a love story, it was more a R&B album kind of talking about my journey from going through a divorce,
Hmm.
asking God to like, I want to fall in love again,
Hmm.
to being single, to getting married, but it's coming from a perspective of a man of God,
Hmm.
not just somebody that's just out here
Oh, yeah,
willingly
doing
doing it.
whatever.
So they had their different messages, but like what make this one better, just everything is better.
Yeah.
Like the singing is better, the production is better. And the production was dope on it on the last one too. So I don't even want to say that like that,
Yeah.
but it's just better. I think the songwriting
Hmm.
is better on this one. And so it's kind of hard to say,
Okay.
but that was my baby too though. Like, so but yeah.
So you mentioned features. Let's get into some collabs on the Legendary album.
Hmm.
You kicked it off with the song Legendary with
Hmm.
your baby sis. The word lyric is what she goes by.
So it's funny because I released Be Holy on my birthday.
Hmm.
But the first song that we done for the
Hmm.
album, we did it the year prior on my birthday, and my sister happened to come through and bless me with her presence on the song
Yeah.
because which is dope. Which shout out, go find the word lyric.
The word lyric.
And so that my album. I cannot remember her name of her album for some odd reason. I forgot. And I produced the whole thing. I can't think of it, but God, just look for the word lyric. We'll put it in the I'll pull it up on this part on the screen so y'all can see. So but she came through and that was to be honest with you, just my first time doing anything with my sister. So this is my biological sister on my dad's side. And she was adopted. My dad kind of gave her up for adoption to the pastor, the bishop now over Pentecostal Covenant Ministries when when she was young, and so we didn't grow up together, but we it was the first time that I lived in the same state with her because I lived back in Virginia now. So we was like, okay, she came over. I'm like, sis, come over. She kicked it with me, and she heard the hook, and she was like, bro, this is hard. I was like, man, you want to get on it? She was like, all right, cool. So we did it, man, and it really just, and I think that's how we start working on her album.
Okay. The transition.
And that's how we start working on her album because she heard how she sound over here,
Hmm.
my sound. So we did that, man, and that really kicked off the project
Yeah. No, that was a
in a
good
big
one.
way.
Even the first time you guys performed it, I remember I
Yeah.
was there. It was so natural. Everybody like gravitated towards it. People could catch on pretty easily,
Hmm.
with the hook and everything. So that was a good one. And then Can't Get Enough, you collab with Sarandon, which is out on all
Hmm.
platforms. Now he went viral.
Yeah.
Let's talk about meeting him and how did that come about?
So I met. So if y'all don't know, so Randy actually he has the first episode, the
Yep.
very first episode of Behind the Mic. But Sarandon, what's amazing about Sarandon is dude went viral like twice, singing at church or
Yep.
singing soul music and getting millions of views. He's a white dude, but people love his voice. His voice is so
Yeah.
amazing. That
He-
dude's voice is so amazing.
He's very talented.
And I be like, we be going back and forth because, like, I'm like, bro, I can't do what you do. He's like, bro,
Mhm.
I can't do what you do. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But he's amazing, man. But I met him through my sister
Yeah.
because she like, hey, bro, I got somebody I wanna bring over to the house. I want you to meet, and they want to meet you, and I think it'd be real cool. You meet them, and after that, man, we just,
Been hitting it off.
yeah, man, just been cool. So. And that was a cool experience, man. Even that session, just to record that, we were just in here vibing, just having a good time.
Yeah, when y'all get together, me and his wife are just like, just let them be, because
Yeah,
we know it's gonna be a while.
for sure, for sure.
Okay, so then you had the love of God with Tiana Guns. We talked about how you partnered with her earlier.
Hmm.
She's such a sweetheart, super talented. How was it with this song, with working with her?
Um, like so, I already had the song done,
Okay.
but I just wanted her on the song.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause Tiana is very she's very. As a matter of fact, y'all, she got an episode.
Yeah, she
So a
does.
lot of people be talking about
Everybody
they
does.
have an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's very versatile, man. Like
Hmm.
she can rap, she can sing,
Yep.
and I knew that she would crush that.
Hmm.
And so it wasn't hard, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing. So a lot of these guys outside of my sister and Sarandon, outside of them, everybody else is in Georgia or in
Yeah.
another. And Pastor Bird came,
Yeah.
Billy Bird Senior.
University.
He came, but like you have to when you have to send the files back, you gotta hope that they got a good recordings,
Yeah.
stuff is sounding right, stuff is sounding good, and then not. But I have to mix it, so. Man, she, other than that, man, like, I asked her to go fix something and she went back and no problem fixed it and bring it back. She did what I asked.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a cool experience.
So, what about this song made you think of her? Because this is a different type of feel on the project. It's more of a pop.
For one, I feel like I wanted to challenge her,
Okay.
but I know that she can do it.
Yeah, she did it.
I know that she can do it. Like her tone, I done heard her on slow stuff. I heard her on like up tempo stuff because she's
Yeah.
a dancer and she's a gospel artist, but she's a real entertainer.
Yeah.
Like girl been on BET on the stage doing her thing, all this stuff. So yeah, it was really dope.
Okay. So you mentioned Billy Bird Sr. He is a pastor. We call him Pastor Bird, but his artist name is Billy Bird Sr.
Mhm.
You guys collabed on What We Do.
Yeah, so we did the that's what we do.
That's
So
what we do. Yeah.
it's what we do. You said it right.
Okay.
You said it right. What we do, but the hook said that's what we do.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of like the same thing. Like I
Yeah.
had the song already, and I wanted somebody on it, like and um he has this cool laid back voice. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? And how the song is so cool and laid back, I feel like he had just fit it. And he came here on 4th of July and put it down. He wrote
Put
his
it
verse,
down.
put it down, it is what it is. It's nice.
Y'all work so well together because I know that you produce majority. Well, you produced his project. You wrote majority of it, right?
Mhm.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, so he has an album
I
called
trust
I Trust
you.
You.
Hmm.
Um and um and I worked with him. So he called me like, "Hey, bro, I want to work on an album," and I always want to work with him. Just because this is my bro, I just want to
Yeah.
work with him. So, I had like it started off what I had a song called "Father" that was for me, and I had another song called "I I Trust You,"
Uh-huh.
and he came to, and this when I was living in Atlanta, and I gave them songs to him. So, and because the "I Trust You" actually was for Ken Jones.
Mm.
But he liked the song, whatever, but he never did nothing with it. So
Yeah.
took it and I was like, Pastor Bird, he wanted.
Mhm.
So we did it, and it started with those two songs to hear himself on some modern stuff.
Mhm.
And so he had other songs that he wrote songs to. We just took the beats, took the vocals and made beats around them
Yeah.
and to make the songs more modern and stuff like that. So he came here to record that whole album. We just re-recorded everything,
Yeah.
and I had songs. I just wrote songs for him, and he just came in and just sung the lead
Yeah.
on
He's
them.
been appreciative. He's been doing like everybody you work with. I tell you, I say he's hardworking. He's pushing those songs. Always grateful for him and how he shows up for us. And yeah.
Timestamp. I see you tomorrow, bro. I see you tomorrow, bro. So you going back, you gonna know what I'm talking about because I will actually see him tomorrow after this.
That's so funny. Okay, so you work with Pastor Bird. Oh, you have an episode with him too. So you can find the Billy Bird Senior episode as well. Everybody we're talking about pretty much have an episode. Not
Mhm.
this person though. I added him as the collab, Tyler.
Oh,
He
Tyler the producer, the dude.
oh,
Oh,
that's his name?
yeah, yeah. Well, I call him Tyler the producer.
Okay.
I call him that, but Tyler Levy, Levi, something like that. I don't want to mess his name up.
Super talented.
Super talented. So Tyler is the guy that played all the guitars parts on that Behold.
Okay.
He came in and we plugged into the system, man, and I had a reference of what I wanted, and he came in. He played. If I said, "Hey, do this," whatever it was, he came and just played it. Boom, and so we created that whole track, and then I added the drums and the bass and other little instruments, and
Yeah.
then after that, I took flight with it and wrote
Yeah.
the song and sung the song on it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so that song, like, I ain't gonna lie, like I had a lot of moments on this project where I felt like there were just some special moments. Like
Yeah.
this is big.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I'm
had to
saying?
fight for mine. Let's just talk about that. Let's just talk
Okay, go
about that
ahead.
for a
Go
second.
ahead.
So I'm listening to the tracks because once again, I'm not musically inclined. I don't have a background in it. I'm not a vocalist. So I come in here and I just give him my raw, feedback of what I think about each thing. And it's something about that love language. He's kind of like, I don't know, I can't get it right. He liked the song,
Hmm.
but he just felt like he couldn't get it right. And I'm just like, I just have to fight for this particular song because it just, every time I heard it, even throughout the house, I just know it was something special about it. And that was one of the top three songs from the listening party that
Hmm.
everybody agreed was just a beautiful song.
So love language, like you said, because I had to make sure I kept preferencing this during the listening party, is that it wasn't that I didn't want the song on there.
Correct. Yeah.
I really loved the song. It was just the mix I
Hmm.
couldn't get right. And so, and that what happens sometimes,
Yeah.
like when you mixing everything, you doing everything, and we trying to be on a crunch time, we trying to get things done. I'm like, man, it may not make the cut,
Hmm.
but she fought for it, so I said, I'm gonna try this one more time. And
Yeah.
that last time, it's just like, oh, this is what it needed right here. Now the song sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's
It
amazing.
sounds good. So love language, man. I
I'm
love.
glad. You closed out with I'm a worshiper, y'all. I love Tremaine's music, but you can just find me in the corner with maybe some old hymns on. That's just my sweet spot.
That's a
Uh,
hard.
so I asked him, I said, Tremaine, can you just give me a song with just the words, no drums? I just need, and he did it. He delivered. I can't take credit for what he did. He had to sing it, he had to write it. But I felt like I really encouraged that, and that blessed so many people. Every single person that hears that song is like, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah, so the song that she's referring to is called Thank God.
Thank God.
It's the last song on the album. And like I said, like, it's a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song. She want to take credit for the song,
Eh,
but
maybe I need to get on the backup vocals or something to get some credit.
she she inspired it because she didn't inspire the concept of the song and none of that. She inspired like a worship song than just pianos. So
Let's
that's
talk
what
about
she
the
did.
song I did inspire.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. So
Okay.
you did dedicate a song to me
Hmm.
on the project. And I was pretty shocked, given that I know that you have some things to come that, give credit to me. I didn't think that you were going to take time out on this project to kind of acknowledge me in that way. Super special. I love everything about it. Let's
Hmm.
talk about that.
So the song that she's referring to is
Hmm.
called Her,
Sitting right
cause
here,
she's her.
sitting here,
A lot of people like, that's him, I'm him, she's her.
right here.
So
Period.
and she's my her. But no, I like, okay, so it's funny because before we was working on Legendary, the album that I was really working on is an album called Mrs. Long. And it's a whole R&B album to her. And but I said, God, I want to give this to you first.
Hmm.
But I still, I grew up the churches that I actually joined on my own,
Hmm.
not for my mom and stuff like that, being around my parents, but church I grew up on my own. I've been at like Hannah Lord with Pastor Shelley and his wife, Lady Shelley, and stuff like that, watching them. And I seen how he loved on his wife. He
Yeah.
always loved on his wife, and I always admired that. And so I just wanted to let her know how legendary she is as my wife, as my lover, as my friend, and I wanted to do a song and just, let people know about her.
Yeah.
And then after that it's another song called Believe. It's really a part of the song, but
Yeah.
we split it up. Cause me and Sal, he was like, no man, like I know we making it's one song, but people may want to hear that other part again. So you can get a lot of replay value out of it. So But that's for her. So she actually got 2 songs on the project.
Yeah, I'm super appreciative. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. You're welcome.
So you mentioned Sal. Let's jump into this. This was one of the last collabs you did, and I saved it for last on purpose. This song is so fire. Soon as the beat dropped, everybody in the chat was just like fire, 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 fire.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's such a great song. So you collab with
LT Terror.
oh yes. Mhm.
So the song is called Righteous. All right.
Yes.
So you're hearing this, the Righteous on the songs, LT Terror. You have Black Boy the Sheep, you
Hmm.
have Salvatore Perigio, and you have me. So that's the order of it. And so that's that particular song, um, it almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
It almost didn't make it because I had 2 people on there, LT and Salvatore Perigio, who wasn't really seeing eye to eye. I love both of them. Sal is my childhood best friend, and LT I met through Sal, but they had their issues or whatnot. But I'm a man of God, and so
Amen.
I show love regardless of what. And because if I be a friend that is if I'm a person that just kick people to the curb just because of my friend or whatever, but if I'm do I love if do I am I loving putting my friend over God or God over my friend? I'd rather put God over my friend any day. So just being honest.
Yeah.
So even though they had their situations or whatnot, um they almost did happen, but I had to get their blessing to let both of them know that both of them was on the song,
Yeah.
and both of them said they gave me the okay.
It was worth the fight.
Yeah, it was worth the fight. It was worth the fight,
It's a great song.
man, like I said, they both all Black Boy did the same thing.
Oh yeah, they killed it.
They all killed it, and I'm just super excited
Yeah.
about that song and what it's gonna do. Hopefully, one day y'all saying this, and hopefully, man, we can shoot a video for it
Yeah.
and do a show in person, and everybody can dap it out and hug it out on stage.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna
man,
bless a lot of people, and I
yeah,
just believe it's gonna heal too.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
For real, for real.
So anything else you want to add about Legendary? Like anything you want to speak about with it coming out pretty soon? Or what can people expect from this project or expect next with it?
Well, like I said, this album is like I said, this is about us being legendary,
Mm-hmm.
us being God's children, and be legendary.
Mm-hmm.
It's an encouragement to walk in love. That's legendary. We got songs talking about spending time with God. Why continue legendary?
Yeah.
I got a song called The Church on there.
Mm-hmm.
And telling the church it's time for us to wake up. You know why? Because we legendary. Just be who God created us to be.
Yeah.
Um, and so man, this is a powerful legendary album. Um, so right now, if you're listening to this, the album's out. So I don't have to worry about talking about no pre-orders.
Okay.
I want to start this out by saying this, like, the album is out, and I understand that, y'all can listen to it on your streaming, which I do want you guys to do, is to stream it. But as y'all know, artists nowadays, and not like in the old days where you go to the record store and buy a CD, and buy an album that way, because that's how artists make their money through merch and stuff like that. So a lot of times, we're not making a whole lot, but for us to get this stuff pushed out the way that we need to push it out,
Mm-hmm.
this stuff costs. And so what we did was we have these USB. We are selling these on my website, TramainelLong.com.
Yeah.
And I would like for you guys to go. They're only $15. I would like for you guys to go and purchase one of these of the album on my website. We'll mail it out to you. And if we run out, we're gonna try to make sure when we run out, we'll put some on the website that then we run out, get you on back order.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely want you to purchase one of these from us
Yeah.
because it has the album on here, but use it as a collectible and
Mm-hmm.
everything. We're gonna have an extra goodie inside of the package once you get it, and then stream it, still stream it.
Mm-hmm.
So like we trying to do what we got to do to push the content out, push the kingdom forward,
Yeah.
and everything that we need to do. And I really feel like this album's really gonna bless your life. And so um other than that, man, like y'all need somebody to come to your next event, your next concert. I mean, you like this music, you like what we doing. If you somebody a radio personnel, hit us up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got concerts, you're like, man, I want this dude on my next concert, hit us up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Your next church event, hit us up. Like, this work, man. This push this thing forward. This get God the glory through this music. Let's expand the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and let's be legendary.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got?
Yeah, making sure that you like and share.
Oh,
you subscribe.
okay.
Okay. Social tags. Let's give them the social tags, right?
Yeah. So what she's saying is we want you guys to, as we come to the end of this podcast today, we want you to like, subscribe,
Yeah.
leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Tell us what you think.
And share this video with somebody and let somebody know what you have heard here today.
Yeah.
All right, man. Spread the word about Tramaine Long and the legendary album. Let them know about my life. Let them know about my testimony.
Yeah.
Hopefully that my testimony will help you out, if you're going through. So like I said, man, like I am so excited, man, with what's going on. So we thank you. We love you. Peace and God bless. All right, holla at y'all. Now it's time to be legendary.
It's like so, I can turn you into a oh yeah. I can make you legendary.